So, we're on a series of debunking myths about agile coaching. This time round, that wonderful myth, I do love it, the agile coach needs to be proficient in all the available frameworks. Not only do they have to know Scrum and Kanban, but they have to know Less and Safe and Disciplined Agile and Nexus and whatever else has been made up in the last 20 minutes. Where's the benefit? That is where I would start. To learn any one of these frameworks, and to be the best in the world at it is a lifetime's work in its own right. Do they need to have expertise in them all? No. I think that's an easy one. I wouldn't say that's a myth. Do they need to be proficient in them all? Well, what do we mean by proficiency? Is it an awareness? Well, no. It's more than that, isn't it? It's not. So it's a basic level of competence. They have to be able to use the framework. Well, what's the benefit in a coach knowing how to implement every framework available when you are going to use one with a blend of a few others? Does that help you? So you want to adopt Safe, you bring in a coach who knows not only Safe, but they can also bring in Less, they can bring in Disciplined Agile, they can do Scrum, they can do Kanban, they can do extreme programming, they can do... That's a huge amount of work that's available, that you're requiring of them. To what benefit? Well, there is some benefit, I will give you. A coach that understands these frameworks, is aware of them and the tools and the techniques, can bring those tools and techniques to work for you. But do they have to be able to use the whole framework proficiently to be able to do it? No, I don't think so. I think that really what you want is a coach who has very, very good general awareness of the agile world. They understand the what and the why of a lot of things. Why would you use Less over Safe? What's involved in Less? What's involved in Safe? Do they have to have deep competency in all of those? No. As a professional, an agile coach is likely to bow out when they can't help you. They're going to say, okay, I don't have experience implementing Safe. You really want Safe? Okay, go find yourself a coach who has expertise in helping you implement Safe. You want somebody who can do it all. That's really that myth, is I want somebody who can do anything we throw at them in any way, shape or form. And they don't exist in any profession. You don't have somebody who can do everything. As agile coaches, there's a huge, huge amount of information available of the tools, the techniques, the frameworks, the theories, the models. We can't possibly know them all. Can't even know of them all. What we can do is get to understand the core workings. Okay? There is a common set of work across all of these things that, yes, I do expect an agile coach to understand. And I think it's reasonable to expect somebody who is a professional to understand the core of their business. However, when we step beyond that, why do they need to know it? If, as an agile coach, you've decided that you want to stay at the team level, and that's a valid option, okay, you want to work with teams, that's where your passion is in helping teams come together and become truly performing units. Why do you need to understand the organisational change aspects of scaling? You don't want to do that. You want to focus on teams. So get better there. And if I'm hiring for organisational change, I'm not hiring you, and that's okay. So I want you to choose your place. Have the core skills. I'll be honest, it gets bashed, but every agile coach needs to understand Scrum to their bones, right? And Kanban. There's no getting away from that. And I would say they have to have a good grasp of extreme programming as well, even if they're not in the software space, because of the thinking, the mindset that came out of the XP world is incredibly valuable. My opinion, for what it counts. But beyond that, it's working out what's important to you. I want them to have an awareness that there are scaling frameworks. I want to have, some idea of some of them. Okay, but they don't have to know all of the frameworks. They don't have to be competent in everything, because they may never, ever need it. And that's waste. So, myth number 2, agile coaches need to be competent in all the frameworks. I would say no, not really. They need to have good awareness of these things, but they don't need to be proficient in everything. Okay? Their job is as a coach. They're there to ask questions to help you think better. If you want somebody who understands in depth everything, you're not looking for a coach. You're looking for a mentor, an expert, a consultant, something other. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. So that's myth number 2. You don't need to be an expert in everything. You don't need to be proficient in everything. That's not the role of a coach. Right? You need to have an awareness as an agile coach, but really you're going to stay away from the solutions. Coming up, myth number 3. All teams are coachable. One of my favourite ones. Okay. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.